What's up, Brian Tong here, and welcome to the Apple Bits for everything good and bad inside the world of Apple. This is my home here on YouTube, so subscribe and hit that ring-a-ling-a-ding-tong to get the latest goodies from me. All right, let's get to the breaking news, y'all. This just in, Apple just announced the 2018 MacBook Pros featuring 8th gen Intel Core processors. The big headliner, the 15-inch, now comes with a 32 gig DDR4 RAM option. Never done before on a MacBook. It is finally here. Now let's just break down some of the specifics. On the 15-inch, you'll get a 6-core Intel Core i7 or Core i9 processor. You can configure this the way you want, but it gets up to 70% faster performance. And then on the 13-inch, you're getting a quad-core Intel Core i5 and i7. Again, you can configure that, but it will double the performance of that. Other highlights, obviously, you get up to 4 terabytes of solid-state disk storage on the 15-inch. That's 2 terabytes on the 13. They're both coming with true tone displays for that great kind of rich, accurate, full color. Also, Apple's using an updated T2 chip. These are both Touch Bar and Touch ID MacBook Pros. They didn't release any like just standard keyboard version. Apple is staying committed to, in my opinion, the controversial Touch Bar. But again, they start at $17.99 and $23.99 respectively for the 13 and the 15-inch model. You can configure them however you want. They're available today through apple.com, and they just dropped an Apple bomb. All right, back to our regularly scheduled programming, which may or may not be out of date now. Let's just jump right back in the show. And I've told you this second half of the year was going to be bonkers for hardware because really of the little we've seen from Apple so far. A new report from Ming-Chi Kuo now says Apple is working on updates across its entire product line for the second half of 2018. Duh. Now, there's no big surprises there. We know about the new iPhones and expected iPad Pro and new Apple Watch with larger displays, but he also includes a new Mac Mini with a processor upgrade after being left in the corner like a little kid for 3.5 years. That's forever in the tech world, and I know there are plenty of Mac Mini fans out there. You let me know. I mean, it's a classic. That would be like if they were going to bring back a new Mortal Kombat movie.
Flawless victory.
Which is also happening. Oh yeah, it is. Now we're expecting new iMacs and MacBook Pros with Intel chips, but I'm curious if we finally see a MacBook Pro with 32 gigs of RAM, that configuration finally, after one was spotted in the wild on a Geekbench listing in June. I mean, come on, Apple, let's just do this already. And the other nugget, Kuo believes Apple is developing a new low-priced notebook that could be a 12-inch MacBook that would replace the current $999 13-inch MacBook Air. So we'll have to wait and see, but this really feels like a fall with 2 keynotes from Apple, and they've done this before. All right, next up, the latest DigiTimes report says out of the 3 2018 iPhones, we're expecting to see, the 6.1-inch LCD screen, that guy in the middle. It will also be getting an edge-to-edge display similar to the OLED screen iPhone 10. The question has been how they would actually pull off a thinner bezel more commonly found on OLED screens, but this time in an LCD screen. Well, Japanese manufacturer Nichia is the key with specific backlight tech that allows LCD screen bezels to be not as thin as OLEDs, but a whole lot thinner. Now, most current LCD screen backlights use a 0.4T LED chip that results in the bottom bezel of 4 to 4.5 millimeters. The use of Nichia's 0.3T LED chip reduces this bezel to 2 to 2.5 millimeters, helping it to stay competitive against OLED's bezel-less designs. Now, Nichia will be the exclusive provider of these chips for the 6.1-inch LCD iPhone. And let's be real here, there are plenty of other phones already on the market with thinner or nearly non-existent bezels compared to the current iPhone 10. All right, we're gonna step outside of Apple just slightly, okay? Don't freak out. But Microsoft, they just announced their 10-inch Surface Go hybrid tablet. It's the company's smallest to date, starting at $399, and a piece of hardware I always have wished Apple would do. It's aiming for the 9.7-inch iPad audience, but even though the devices might be considered similar, they're really more different than alike. Now, you'll have to pay more to beef it up, but I watch these videos and I say to myself, Apple, why are you so stubborn? Just make a hybrid OS already. Come on, guys. Whether you like using Windows or not, as a tech fan, you've got to admire and really appreciate Microsoft for continuing to push and develop a device that is truly unique and innovative while being a legit productivity tool. And you know, I love my iPad Pro, I love it, but I still want some sort of hybrid device, and you do too. If you've accidentally, touched your laptop screen thinking it was a touchscreen, just admit, you've done it too. All right, in a big behind the scenes move, Apple has updated its leadership page to now include John Giannandrea, who will now serve as Apple's Chief of Machine Learning and AI Strategy. He was hired back in April and stolen away from Google, where he ran the search and artificial intelligence division there. Apple knows, come on, Siri is a huge weakness for them. And I've said this many times before, if there's ever a time to blow up Siri and start all over, it's right now.
Hey Siri, take a selfie.
He's one of the few people that can truly turn it around, but it will also be interesting to see how much Siri evolves within the confines of Apple, which puts a higher priority on customer privacy and data compared to Google. Now, Giannandrea has also nicknamed his new team inside Apple Cyberdyne. Okay, I totally made that one up. Gotcha. Now, Apple recently released the latest iOS 11.4.1 update. It says it fixes some bugs and issues, but no word if it addresses the crazy battery drain that many are feeling from 11.4. It also updates the HomePod software, but where's the deeper booming bass that it originally launched with? Like, that's what I want to know. What did they do with that? Now, also Sonos, check this out. They have added AirPlay 2 support to its latest speakers. It's the first time they have ever supported AirPlay, and this is huge. Siri control and multi-room audio are now supported by the Sonos One, the Beam, Play Bass, and 2nd Gen Play 5 speakers. So you can now talk directly to your Sonos speakers with Amazon's Alexa and Siri. Yeah, see, the Sonos ecosystem, it's really amazing if you've never tried it out because it supports every music service, including Apple Music. And now get Siri control. There's pretty much no compelling reason right now to buy a HomePod today. And you know what? That's a bad Apple. Really, they need to get better. And since we're on the topic of getting better, we need to talk about last week's show, where orange was one of the potential colors for the 2018 iPhones. But a lot of you were bothered by my comments. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not the biggest fan of orange as one of the new iPhone colors, but many of you said, your background is orange. Like Ryan Hernandez, who comments, you talk smack about orange, yet talk in front of orange lighting. Seriously. Nintendo Guy 00 wrote, Brian, newsflash, your background in this video is orange. Just saying. And 66 Just a Riot says, irony is saying orange is a bad color choice while standing in front of an orange background. Well, my background wasn't orange last week. It's called goldenrod. Look it up. But the most hurtful comment came from Mizzou Mike 000, who said, I feel like that shirt is an old Android wallpaper I used to have. Really, Mizzou Mike 000? Like that hurt right here. I felt that. All right, that's gonna do it for this week. You can check out my Apple Bits XL audio podcast if you're looking for a deep dive with Apple on your favorite podcast app. And if I've given you any value, you'd like to support my new content, you can check it out at patreon.com/BrianTong. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see y'all next time for some more of that Apple Bits. Be safe. Peace.